Okay, fine. We are on roll. See, today's topic is effect of drugs on blood pressure and heart rate of a dog. Now, this is again done in the computer system, done in the software of Animal Simulator by Elsevier. Now we will see the effect of drugs on blood pressure and heart rate, and the animal which was used is dog. Now there are many procedures when you perform this. The procedure which comes before taking the graph are manifolds. We need to prepare the laboratory, we need to prepare the chemicals, we need to get the animal, that is dog, anesthetics, then handling of the dog, anesthesia, and then how to anesthetize the dog, how to cannulate the dog, how to locate which artery has to be cannulated, and so on and so forth. So there are many step procedure in this. The thing is, and this used to be a very long, like our professor used to do this type of experiment, and they used to be provided only with one dog, or sometimes if the college is good then they will provide, otherwise they had to manage the dog by themselves. So they'll somehow catch hold of a street dog, and then they'll bring it for the time of the practical examination or the practical, and then they will start doing procedure on it. The problem was that after doing so much, after taking so much of effort, after doing so much of so many things, then when you take the experiment and if it does not come well, or in between the dog dies, then you are nowhere. You are out to be failed in examination, because the dog is died, one animal is dying because of your carelessness, and the second thing is that you haven't got the record, you haven't got the graph which was expected from you as a examiner. So slowly after that, the bigger animals were banned for the practical examination and practical learning, and then later on the smaller animal like rats, the guinea pigs, the frogs were also banned. This particular experiment is important to discuss because we have learned many drugs in the autonomic nervous system, starting from cholinergic drugs and then the adrenergic drugs. And we know that those drugs have different effect on blood pressure and heart rate. We also have studied many antagonists, and the antagonist can block the action of an agonist. Those all we have learned in the theoretical part of pharmacology, but do they really do changes in the graph or blood pressure and heart rate? Yes, they do. And to see that, to demonstrate that, these type of experiments used to be done on live animal, and later it was changed to the simulated experiment. We all know that when we give epinephrine, it has biphasic response of increasing the blood pressure because of the effect on some receptor, and then later on decreased concentration, there is decrease in blood pressure because of again the effect on some receptor. That we can see directly on the animal and now on the animal simulation experiments. So to understand the concept, understand the graph, understand the plotting, how everything happens, you need to have a theoretical idea also before we discuss the graph. It was very important in earlier days, till nowadays also, to know the procedure, how it happens, what are the things which we need to make ready for doing an animal experiment, and then how the animal has to be handled and how anesthetized, and how the drugs are made, different concentration of drugs are made, and then how to administer to the animal. But now in animal simulation, everything is ready-made. You just have to choose the right the amount of drug and then administer, and you will get a graph automatically. Nothing you have to do. You just have to come up, just have to control the computer and the software with your mouse, and then you are good. So here the thing is that the drug, there will be many drugs. We will discuss the acetylcholine, the effect of atropine on acetylcholine, the effect of acetylcholine and at high dose. We will discuss the effect of epinephrine, then epinephrine, then norepinephrine, isoprenaline, then ephedrine, then histamine, and then the blocker of histamine like cimetidine and meperamine, and so on and so forth. We will see one by one. Now see, this is the actual graph. This is the graph which if you do the experiment on the animal simulation, XFarm Pro is the name of the software. If you do it, then this would be the graph which will be coming across. This is the effect of drug on blood pressure and heart rate of dog. This is the original recording on animal simulator, which is a product of Elsevier. Now, there are many drugs here. There are many drugs given here, and there are two main graphs. One is for blood pressure and one is for heart rate. These readings are for heart rate, and these readings are for mean blood pressure. Mean blood pressure. Mean blood pressure is marked in millimeter of Hg, whereas heart rate is marked in beats per minute. So I'll divide this graph. Actually, there is a continuation graph after this also, which is not in here. I'll show it later on. And further, I will be dividing the graph. This would be the first section. This would be the second section. Then third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. And then I'll keep on discussing the theoretical part. And then I'll again come back to the experiment graph, and then I'll explain the whole things. So this is the zoomed version of the first portion. This I am showing, this particular portion I am showing right now. Okay. So this portion is there because I did not want to remove this marking. So this portion is there. Similar to this, there is one portion here with for mean blood pressure. That is not shown. See, there is this is heart rate in beats per minute here. This one here is the blood pressure. Now, which one is for blood pressure and which one is for heart rate, we can't even know here. But to mark, when you see the actual recording, this is in the color format. This one is dark blue and this one is red color. And heart rate in all the experiment which will come across, there would be color coding, and the teacher would be saying it for you, which one is heart rate and which one is blood pressure, or anything else if it is there. So this is for heart reading. This is for heart rate reading. So heart rate, this is the graph for heart rate, and you have to take the reading through this scale for heart rate. For blood pressure, you have to take the reading from this right side, this side. Okay. So what happens? We'll start from here. This is the normal tracing. When you have cannulated the dog, when you have cannulated the dog, and then the dog is ready for the experiment, you push one. You take the reading. You take the reading in the computer or the tomograph paper, and this is the way you will be getting the graph for blood pressure, and this is the way you will be getting the graph for heart rate. This is normal without any drug. This is normal. Okay, so you can make this as a basal heart rate and the middle of this as basal blood pressure. So basal blood pressure you can take as around 110. Okay, so 110, 120, anything is okay. Later in the graph portion I have taken 120 and here as 160. So, and this is the basal heart rate. Now, whenever you give any drug, there would be alteration in the graph, either upward or downward direction, depending upon the effect, pharmacological action or effect of the drug. So let's say you give a drug here, acetylcholine, you give a drug. After few seconds of normal tracing, because it takes time for the drug to reach to its receptor and then to bind it. And then after binding, again it takes up some fractions of seconds to produce the action. So there will be a little delay from the time when you have administered the drug and to get a response. So when you give acetylcholine at 5 milligram, then you will get the recording. That means this is going down. This is going down. That means there is decrease in the blood pressure. There is decrease in the blood pressure. It's same type of reading. If it is here, you will find if it is 120, this is reduced to around 70 or 60. So there is decrease in the blood pressure. That means contraction of heart is not there much. If more contraction, it will go up. If little contraction is there, then that means it is going down. So that means the blood pressure is decreasing. Okay. Then after having its full effect here of the drug on the receptor, then it starts metabolizing. Okay, or the effect fades off, and then it goes to the normal level slowly. See, the drum is, we have already discussed in the yesterday class how the drum rotates, keeps on rotating at a particular fixed speed, and then you put the drug, and then the stylus will keep on moving, the stylus will keep on moving, and then you will get this type of recording. So as the drum is moving, you will get this type of drug. The drug is still moving, and then it comes to the normal. Now there is no drug bound to the receptor, and then you will start getting the normal blood pressure, normal response. Similarly, with the acetylcholine, there will be, you can see here, there is the decrease in heart rate. We will discuss how it happens. There is decrease in heart rate. There is decrease in heart rate. There is dip in this. So earlier the heart rate was 150 beats per minute, and then it was reduced with the effect of acetylcholine slowly, and then at the last and the peak it comes to 100, and then gets back to normal again, and then you get a normal heart rate when the effect of drugs fades off, or when it gets metabolized or not there in the bound form with the receptor. Now we already know that the acetylcholine is the cholinergic drug, and it acts on the nicotinic receptor and the muscarinic receptor, correct? So we'll see the nicotinic receptor a little later on. This is basically for the muscarinic receptor, and muscarinic receptor, what it does, there are 5 types of muscarinic receptor, 5 types, M1, M2, M3, M4 and M5, 5 types are there. In that, the first three types are more important. So the first 3 types are more important. Okay, and 4th and 5th are not of that much of clinical significance. In that, if you will see, the M2 receptor are present on heart, and upon its stimulation, it causes the negative effect on heart, which includes the conduction velocity, it includes the decrease in contractility and decrease in heart rate. So negative effect, negative inotropic, chronotropic and bromotropic effect of acetylcholine is there through the M2 receptor, and these muscarinic receptor are of GPCR type. That means it may act through any of the G protein coupled receptor mediated pathway. In here, the M2 receptor is acting through the GI type inhibitory, so that we'll discuss it later on. Okay. So now this is the normal reading. Then what happens? You give one drug known as atropine. You give it here. Okay. Here. Now atropine is what? Atropine is a blocker for acetylcholine. It's a blocker. It's a competitive blocker, cholinergic competitive blocker or anticholinergic at the dose of 750. Here you give. Then what happens? After a lag of few seconds, the drum is still rotating. Actually, when you get this graph, you have to stop a drug, then put a drug, and then start the recording, and then start the drum, and then you get the recording. So you'll see that there is no effect on blood pressure. There is no effect on blood pressure. Atropine will not do change in the blood pressure. So you get the constant recording. But then atropine causes increase in the heart rate. It causes increase in the heart rate. We'll discuss everything a little later. And then here, acetylcholine. Then when it gets to the normal thing, then there you have the normal recording, and then after some time of the normal recording, you give again the acetylcholine, and you will see that there is no change either in the blood pressure or heart rate. That is because the atropine has blocked the receptor, and if the receptors are blocked, acetylcholine cannot go and bind with the receptor, muscarinic receptor, and it cannot produce its desired effect. Okay, so this was all about the acetylcholine, the effect of acetylcholine, atropine, and again acetylcholine at a lower dose. Then, see, this is the type of graph which you will be making in your practical record. Here you have forgotten to write here. Here it will be heart rate, and here it will be blood pressure. So color coding is there. This is for heart rate, and this yellow, blue is for blood pressure, and this is for heart rate. So this is the normal recording, basal blood pressure and basal heart rate, and then upon acetylcholine administration, there is decrease in the blood pressure and decrease in the heart rate, decrease dip in the heart rate. You need to explain the way I have explained. Okay, then you get the things comes back to the normal, and then you get normal curve for heart rate and blood pressure, and then you give atropine at the dose of 750, which is still lesser if you compare to the next graph. Then you will see that there is no change in the blood pressure, but then atropine causes increased heart rate, and then later normal recording, and then you give acetylcholine. Because the receptors are blocked by atropine, you get the normal curve for blood pressure and heart rate in the presence of this atropine, the effect of acetylcholine. Okay, so this is the way you will be drawing in your record. Next, coming on to the same type of graph, but then the dose of the drugs are higher. Here, you see that acetylcholine, when you give earlier, this is the normal recording, and then acetylcholine you give at this dose, you will get decreased blood pressure and decreased heart rate, which we have already discussed. Then comes back to normal. Then you give atropine at higher dose at 2000, and you will see that there is a drastic increase in the heart rate. And then which comes back to the normal, here. And then after waiting for a few minutes or seconds, if you will give acetylcholine, this is at the higher concentration that of the previous. Previously, we gave atropine we gave 750. Here we are giving 2000. Acetylcholine we used to give in the previous recording 5. Here we are giving 175. So what changes we will see? Acetylcholine 175. There is increased blood pressure as well as there is increase in heart rate. Why this happens so? This basically this graph explains. The nicotinic action, ganglionic nicotinic action of acetylcholine. Now, to understand this we need to remember the presence of acetylcholine and norepinephrine as the neurotransmitter. So if you see that acetylcholine is present in the preganglionic, also postganglionic, in which in the parasympathetic. Whereas sympathetic, you will see the acetylcholine to be present in the preganglionic, and postganglionic you will see in the norepinephrine. Okay. Now, when you give this larger dose, then it causes ganglionic effect, which leads to increased release of norepinephrine. And as we already know that norepinephrine will cause in positive chronotropic, positive dromotropic, and positive inotropic effect, which is shown in this graph. So this shows the nicotinic action of acetylcholine. So we have discussed two main graphs. The first graph is the action of acetylcholine without presence of atropine and in presence of atropine to show the muscarinic effect. Whereas this one, the second graph, shows the effect of acetylcholine in presence of larger dose of atropine and then in absence of atropine, and then acetylcholine action on the nicotinic receptor. So that is the second graph. So this is the how you will be making the graph for the second set of experiment, where this is heart rate and this is blood pressure. You see acetylcholine here, then there is decrease in the heart rate and blood pressure and heart rate. Then atropine you give, there is marked increase in blood pressure, heart rate because of increased dose. Then you give acetylcholine at more dose, higher dose, and you see the increased effect of increased blood pressure and heart rate because of the nicotinic action. You need to explain it, and then that comes back to the normal at 120 millimeter of Hg and 160 basal beats per minute. So this is the one which I was talking about. So here acetylcholine is the neurotransmitter in somatic system. The autonomic nervous system here is the acetylcholine, parasympathetic, and then postganglionic also you have the acetylcholine, where the whereas the sympathetic you have acetylcholine over here, and then norepinephrine over here. Others here nicotinic NM receptor is there. Here muscarinic receptors are there. And here adrenergic receptor, alpha, beta, or muscarinic receptor are there. Okay. So basically, this was the thing I was talking about. Now this is the chart taken from Goodman and Gilman. You will see the muscarinic receptor M1 type and where it is present, and then cellular response, how it acts upon functional response and disease relevance. Here we will mainly focus on M2 receptor. This is widely expressed in CNS, hindbrain, thalamus, cerebral cortex, hippocampus, striatum, heart, smooth muscle, autonomic nerve terminals. So heart is important here, and how it acts? It acts through GI type. That means it will inhibit the adenylyl cyclase enzyme, leading to decrease in the CAMP. And then activation, it causes activation of inwardly rectifying potassium channel. Whatever happens, that they causes inhibitory effect and causes hyperpolarization and inhibition. So the marked effect is on heart, which we'll see. The SA node is the slow spontaneous depolarization and hyperpolarization, leading to decrease in heart rate. AV node decrease in conduction velocity. Atrium decrease contraction, ventricle decrease contraction. So you'll see here the blood pressure is decreased and then heart rate is decreased. Okay, so this is M3 receptor again act through GQ. So M1 and M3, this act through GQ, and M2 and M4 that acts with GI. So the odd number receptor from M1 to M5, M1, M3 and M5, they act through the same mechanism, that is G2 IP3 diag-mediated pathway, whereas M2 and M4, the even number, they act through GI pathway, adenylyl cyclase pathway. The next is nicotinic receptor. Nicotinic receptor, again, the skeletal muscle junction, neuromuscular junction, it is present. What happens when you give, and then what are the agonists and what are the antagonists. Autonomic ganglia and adrenal medulla and NM type of receptor is there. This is we were talking about. Because of activation of this, there is increase in the blood pressure. And then CNS neuronal. Acetylcholine has 4 primary effects on the will come to the theoretical part. Acetylcholine has the 4 primary effects on the cardiovascular system, that is vasodilation. By vasodilation, when if it causes vasodilation, there will be decrease in the pressure on the blood vessels. Decrease in the heart rate, negative chronotropic effect, which we have seen through M2 receptor. Decrease in the conduction velocity, which again we have seen through M2 receptor activation. AV node, and decrease in the force of contacts and negative ionotropic effect. So when you give atropine, these all action would be blocked. These all action would be blocked by atropine, and then when you give acetylcholine again, then you cannot see the effect of acetylcholine, because the atropine blocks the action of acetyl. Atropine blocks the receptor on which the acetylcholine binds and gives the action. Now, atropine. Larger dose of atropine causes progressive tachycardia by blocking M2 receptor on the SA nodal pacemaker. So this is the explanation why there is increase in the heart rate of dog upon giving atropine. Larger dose of atropine causes progressive tachycardia by blocking M2 receptors on SA nodal pacemaker. We have already seen that when the drug acetylcholine bind with the M2 receptor, it decreases the heart rate. But the atropine, when it blocks the M2 receptor on SA nodal pacemaker, and then antagonizes the parasympathetic tone of the heart. So parasympathetic tones are antagonized by this atropine. So the resting heart rate is increased by 35 to 40 beats per minute in young men, and 2 milligram of atropine intramuscularly, if given 2 milligram of intramuscular atropine. The maximal heart rate is not altered by atropine. The maximal heart rate is not altered by atropine. This is the important thing to look upon. Now, atropine alone has little effect on blood pressure because most vessels lack significant cholinergic innervation. So most of the vessels, they will be not having the cholinergic innervation, through which and that's why the atropine is not able to bind to those receptors, because the receptors are not there only. So when it is not there, it will not have any effect on the blood pressure. However, in clinical doses, atropine completely counteracts the peripheral vasodilatation and sharp fall in blood pressure caused by cholinesters. But in clinical dose, it was seen that atropine just reverses, just counteracts the vasodilatation, overall vasodilatation of vessels because of the cholinesters or cholinergic drugs. Okay, and that's why you can see the effect on blood pressure. Otherwise, atropine as such, it will not show effect on the blood pressure based on the action on the only blood vessels. The another recording here, there is the recording of epinephrine, norepinephrine, isoprenaline, ephedrine, and then ephedrine later on. So this is the zoomed version. This is the zoomed version of it, and here you can see the effect of epinephrine, norepinephrine, isoprenaline, and ephedrine. We'll take this part first, and I'll explain it. and then the effect on blood pressure and heart rate. Now see what happens when you give epinephrine. When you give epinephrine, after a few seconds you will see the effect, and then there would be increased in blood pressure, initially increase in blood pressure, and then it reaches to its peak, and then slowly the concentration decreases, and at decreased concentration there is you can see decrease in the blood pressure. So this particular effect is known as biphasic response of epinephrine or adrenaline, where there is increase in blood pressure initially, and at lower doses there is decrease in the blood pressure from the basal. So here you see when there is an increase in blood pressure, this is mainly because of the alpha receptor, alpha mediated vasoconstriction, and somewhat related with the direct action of beta 1 receptor of the heart. So it gets stimulated, and then contraction is more, and you can see at the lower concentration what happens, that as you know that adrenaline acts on alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1, beta 2, and beta 3, all the alpha and beta receptor, adrenergic receptor. So beta 2 receptor mediated vasodilatation decreases the blood pressure, showing the biphasic response. Whereas you can see here that there is increase in blood heart rate because of direct action on the beta 1 receptor, and then here because there is decreased blood pressure, there is compensatory increase in the heart rate. So that is the explanation. Next is norepinephrine. After you get normal curve, you give norepinephrine at the given dose, and then you see there is marked increase in blood pressure, which is more than that of adrenaline. That happens because, and it does not show the biphasic response, because it acts only on the alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1, beta 3 receptor. There is no action on beta 2 receptor. That's why vasodilatation you will not see, and then compensation you will not see, but there is increase in the blood pressure. Then because of the increase in blood pressure, compensatory decrease in the heart rate shows decrease in this graph, dip in this graph. Then you get the normal graph, and then effect of isoprenaline was seen by administering isoprenaline. There you see decrease in the blood pressure. This happens because isoprenaline act on beta 1, beta 2, and beta 3, only beta receptor, and beta 2 effect is predominating, and then marked vasodilatation you will see causing dip in the blood pressure, whereas increase in the heart rate is there because of the compensation of this one. Then you see the effect of ephedrine. Ephedrine is actually an indirect acting sympathomimetic, or better you say that it is a mixed acting. That means it will have its effect on the adrenergic receptor, and it will cause the release of the adrenergic neurotransmitter also. And the effect is prolonged, and the effect is not that marked in comparison to other drugs. So you see here there is increase in blood pressure and increase in heart rate. So this was all about epinephrine, norepinephrine, isoprenaline, and ephedrine. We will see the graph here. So epinephrine, the biphasic response, norepinephrine, increase in blood pressure, isoprenaline, there is decrease in blood pressure, ephedrine, there is little increase in blood pressure, and then the effect is for a little prolonged time. Heart rate, increased heart rate, here also increased heart rate, direct action, and then compensatory action, then the compensatory action, and then direct action. You see over here. Then theoretical part, adrenoceptors. This respond to catecholamine like norepinephrine or adrenergic innervation. This is G protein coupled receptor. Alpha has 2 types, alpha 1 and alpha 2. Beta has 3 types, beta 1, beta 2, and beta 3 receptors. Now, adrenaline act on alpha 1, alpha 2, beta, all these receptors. Norepinephrine except this, they act on all the receptor. Isoprenaline only on this receptor. These are important things to remember. Alpha 1, what is the location? Alpha 2, there are the subtypes. What are the location? Here we have the smooth muscle vessel contraction. So this is the arrhythmia is there. So this is the main thing responsible for increased blood pressure due to epinephrine. Alpha 1 medicated. Beta 1, there are different location. Beta 2, just see here, there is blood vessels, and when you do that, there is vasodilatation. Vasodilatation. Okay, this acts through GS type. The all beta, they act through GS type of receptor, whereas alpha acts through the GQ, the alpha 1, whereas GI is through is GI for alpha 2. So again, this figure is taken from Goodman and Gilman. Here you will see this ephedrine. This ephedrine. Ephedrine is mixed actin. That means it will have the direct property also, indirect property also. That means it will act on the direct all the adrenergic receptor directly, and it will cause the increase the release of norepinephrine. Response is reduced by reservoir and quinacridine. So they act on alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1 and beta 2 and on the releasing agent also. So again, this act on all the receptors. This is not that potent drug, and that's why the action is for prolonged time. This is again the picture taken from Goodman and Gilman, and this is the comparative graph. This is very important graph to explain the effect of norepinephrine, and BPA on a single chart. You can draw this in the record also, and during examination you are supposed to draw this, whether in theory or practical portion. So the first is epinephrine, the norepinephrine and isoprenaline will go. So here we will see the effect. See here you will see the effect on the blood pressure. Blood pressure, the systolic and then diastolic. Systolic and mean pressure is increased. Mean pressure is increased here. There is a direct action. There is direct action on alpha receptor vasoconstriction related to more increase in the blood pressure, whereas vasodilatory causes decrease in the blood pressure. And but the mean pressure is little increase only. Little increase in only. The pulse rate is increased because of the beta 1 mediated positive chronotropic effect, those positive chronotropic effect that you see here, and then because of the beta 2 mediated vasodilatation, you see the increased peripheral resistance. These effects are on IV infusion of epinephrine at the given dose, 10 microgram per minute equivalent dose. Next is norepinephrine. Norepinephrine, you see there is no beta 2 mediated vasodilatation. The systolic blood pressure is increased, diastolic blood pressure is increased, mean blood pressure is increased. So the compensated decrease in the pulse rate or heart rate you can see over here. Okay. And the peripheral resistance is not decreased because the norepinephrine do not have beta 2 effect and do not cause vasodilatation. Only alpha action, so you can see the increase in peripheral resistance. Isoprenaline. Isoprenaline, we see that there is increase in the blood pressure, little increase in the blood pressure, maybe that is beta 1 mediated, but because of vasodilatation, the diastolic blood pressure is decreased, and then peripheral dilatation is there because it has marked beta 2 effect on the blood vessel, causing more decrease in the peripheral resistance. Then here compensatory increase in the blood heart rate you can see. So this whole graph explains the effect on BP and heart rate of 3 important catecholamines. Now coming to the next portion, that is histamine. You will see here histamine, then meperamine, and then histamine again. This is the zoomed version, and here you see that histamine causes vasodilatation, right? Vasodilatation, you'll see causing decrease in the blood pressure and corresponding increase in the heart rate. You can see meperamine is a H1 blocker, classical H1 blocker, and this effect there is no effect on the histamine on the blood pressure and heart rate. That blocks the receptor only. And when you give again the histamine, there will be the same effect, but the tip will be little lesser, or increase is little lesser because of the blockage, not complete blockage, but only blockage of the receptors, because this is only H1 mediated. H2 mediated action will also be there. Here, okay, that one. So you can see histamine, Mepyramine, no action, and histamine at the same dose, but mepyramine blocks the action, so it will give some action because of the non-complete blockage, and then H2 mediated action will also be there. Then next is cimetidine. Again, the same graph you get, and here in place of mepyramine, you give cimetidine with the same dose, and cimetidine is an H2 blocker, and you see the more or less same response, So this is for mepyramine, and this is for cimetidine. Now the thing is, histamine H1, H2, H3, and H4 receptors are there. See, this the action of any histaminergic agonist is not absolute. It's not absolute one. Okay. If a drug acts on H1 receptor, it will act on some H2 receptors also. So when we say H1 receptor is like it is absolute H1 agonist, then we are somehow saying that only H1 receptors are there and H1 receptors are only stimulated, but that does not happen clinically. So these are through GQ, GS, GI, and GI here also for H3, H2, and H4 receptor. Now this is the observation table which you will see in the animal simulation experiment and of the software, where you need to scroll down and choose your drug, different drug. Then what was the basal, what was the reading for the epinephrine, the highest reading, and then blood pressure. If you see here, what is the reading here? You have to measure with a scale, If there is decrease, you measure this one as around 90, and here as around 165 or something. So you can measure from here also like this. So what you need to do when you when it's in examination, if the graph is given like this, you make a graph like this and then measure with the scale and then put it in the observation table. Somehow you need not make this observation table. I will show you how to make it. And this is the basal heart rate, which means basal heart rate is this one, not this one. Okay, this one. Yeah. This is the basal blood pressure and this is the basal heart rate. And then remark, then based on the effect on the heart rate and mean blood pressure, what do you want to say? Okay. So this is the observation table which you need to make. And see, this is the first set of experiment where we give acetylcholine, atropine, and acetylcholine again with a given dose. What is the reading for acetylcholine for blood pressure and for heart rate? You put here in millimeter of Hg and when beats per minute. You write for it. Second set of experiment, acetylcholine and atropine at higher dose and acetylcholine at higher dose. What was the reading? Epinephrine, norepinephrine, isoprene, ephedrine. What was the reading for blood pressure and heart rate? Histamine, mepyramine, histamine. What was the reading? Histamine, cimetidine, and histamine. What was the reading? And here you write the basal blood pressure and basal heart rate. Basal blood pressure and basal heart rate. And here you need to give the remark, or you can write in the discussion only. In the examination, you just make it this. No need of putting the remark because everything else you will be writing in the discussion and conclusion. Okay. So record protocol, how to write? Aim you write to study the effect of drug on blood pressure and heart rate of a dog. What is the requirement? Software requirement. Tissue which is used is frog. Sorry, here it is wrong. Here it is dog. Dog's heart. And drug is epinephrine, norepinephrine, atropine, and many other which I have just explained. You just go through the video and see the drug's name, or in the observation table only you will get all the drug's name. Here, Margaret, this is dog. Objective: to study the effect of different drug on dog's blood pressure and heart rate, and to study the effect of different, there is spelling mistake, different antagonists on dog's blood pressure and heart rate. So basically you are seeing the effect of different drug in presence or in absence of an antagonist. What is the principle? Principle is the given drug acts as an agonist for different receptor present at different site in human body. Drug binds with the receptor and produce some changes in the structure or function, leading to alteration in the function of organ or tissue. The agonistic action may be associated with the direct action or via second messenger system. The antagonist action is produced by a drug when it binds and blocks a receptor on which an agonist is supposed to bind, and thus agonistic action cannot produce its effect. So this would be the principle of the experiment. What is the procedure? Procedure need to be shorter. The present experiment was carried out in animal simulator software. The following steps were performed. You need to open the software, particular experiment was chosen. Then for the first set of experiment, the effect of acetylcholine was seen in the presence of atropine. For the second set, you say the acetylcholine was given at high dose and atropine was also given at high dose, and then nicotinic action was seen. For the third set, the epinephrine, norepinephrine, isoprene, ephedrine was administered one by one, and then effect of these drug was seen on BP and heart rate. For the fourth set, histamine was given and a blocker mepyramine was given. The effect of histamine was seen in presence and in absence of mepyramine. For the fourth set, again, the effect of histamine was seen in presence and in absence of cimetidine, and then effect was seen for blood pressure and heart rate. And then the every readings were fed in the observation table as I showed you. So this is the how you would be writing in your record. Just don't copy it. Discussion is very important. I have not written the discussion here. You need to write everything else by referring with the book. You need to explain the CVS action of acetylcholine, atropine at low and high dose. What happens? Then cardiovascular effect of epinephrine, norepinephrine, isoprene, ephedrine by giving the receptor on which it acts, and then the second messenger system. You need to explain everything. Explain the cardiovascular action of histamine and its blocker. You need to draw the graph as well, and then later on you conclude like by saying acetylcholine decreases BP and heart rate. In presence of atropine, acetylcholine low dose no effect. At high dose increases BP and heart rate and nicotinic ganglionic action, actually the ganglionic action. Epinephrine has biphasic response, increases BP and heart rate. Norepinephrine increases BP, decreases HR, heart rate, and no beta-2 mediated compensation. Isoprene decrease blood pressure, increase heart rate, and that is basically due to beta-2 mediated. See, I have written everything in short form. You need to write it properly. Ephedrine indirect action or mixed action, you can say, increases blood pressure and heart rate. Histamine increase blood pressure and heart rate. This is because of the vasodilatation, and it is blocked by the antagonist, the cimetidine and the mepyramine. You have to write it in a proper way and then get it ready for the correction when you come to the class, whenever college opens. So this was all about the experiment here, and thank you so much.